Sentiment in the markets has been reasonably positive over the past 24 hours or so, with Northern Hemisphere share markets posting pretty reasonable gains, and the New Zealand dollar's appreciated slightly against the US dollar. We came off around 1.5 on the New Zealand-US cross rate after the Canterbury earthquakes caused some concerns, but it perked up yesterday afternoon and the Kiwi's back trading around 82 cents against the US dollar. We are down slightly on the Aussie dollar, trading around 76.5 cents on that cross rate. There was a bit of data out yesterday. In New Zealand, we had food price inflation figures. Food prices are up 0.5% for the month, with fruit prices and meat price increases pushing a lot of that gain. That wasn't what was really moving the market though. The focus was up in China. And once a month in China, they release quite a bit of data on their economy. There's industrial production, retail sales figures, which all give a steer on growth. They look reasonable, but they put out their inflation data with producer prices and consumer price indexes out. Now, consumer price inflation's running at about 5.5% per annum at the moment. That's a little bit too hot for the People's Bank of China, and they responded by increasing the reserve requirement ratio by 0.5% for banks in China. Now, the global share markets took their lead from the positive growth indicators coming out of China. There are concerns about the giant economy slowing somewhat, but the growth indicators were pretty reasonable, and that was one of the contributors to the positive sentiment we've seen in global share markets. So both European and North American share markets enjoyed positive sessions. Well, the data continues to flow out today. Here we get our quarterly retail trade survey for the first quarter of the year, and that'll give us an accurate picture of just how retailers were faring over the first quarter. That survey is coming out a month later than usual, as the earthquake in Canterbury has disrupted that data release as well as a number of others. It's still important for us to get a gauge on how retailers were going in the first quarter though. Elsewhere, the US has their fair share of data tonight, with inflation figures out there as well as industrial production data. And tonight, for the farmers, something of interest will be the latest global dairy trade auction. We keep a close eye on this, obviously, to see how dairy prices are faring, and so that's out at midnight tonight.